So why are we in a great reset? Because there is no shortage of people, places, and things, and animals and humans to consume and then ultimately end up in a suffering. A suffering so astronomical that humans cannot exist this way indefinitely, or they would completely cause outright extinction. And so, yeah, the last couple days has been quite an awakening, especially with this constant pain, but not so much today, right now. But the arm pain, the shoulder pain, the back pain, and the hives and the flirt variant. Oh my gosh. Oh Lord, more new neural pathways connecting, and then the old world is being released. Like, I already streamlined my immune system to the point where I have lessened desires and also completely eradicated superfluous consumption. Like, I never was a shopper anyways. I didn't go shop for clothes. I didn't go shop for stupid shit that I don't need. I didn't go try to sell stuff that I don't really, that people really don't need. I'm cheap Chinese goods. I don't sell any of that shit, and I don't go buy too much cheap Chinese goods. Men are the hugest consumers. And yesterday when I was writing about men are the hardest nuts to crack and the hardest ones to tell them to scale down their lifestyle, scale down their consumption, scale down their spending habits. They're like, no, what was told us in the 80s is to keep bettering ourselves. Well, yeah, but not always through consumption. There's different ways to better yourself. But to tell a man to better yourself means adding more intellectual capacity. They'll tell you to screw off unless they're in the intellectual academics. But men who are run-of-the-mill men who have strength and capacity and all that shit and potential, and they work a job or do something that gives them money, they're going to spend themselves out of a fucking existence. It's the intellectuals that could potentially, males that could potentially streamline their immune system and lessen their consumption. But it's the blue collar, the white collar men that are in the sales world that have a problem with spending and consumption. Of course, they adopt women or they get with women who are completely addicted to consumption and love and sexuality and collecting baubles and children. And of course, spirituality, like I said again, religion and family and friends. And of course, addicted to Amazon and eBay. And of course, selling their religion and themselves on the internet and selling their kids on the internet. Oh, it's crazy watching it. So that's why I posted what I posted this morning. Because I know why the system is scaling everybody down. I know why. And before I was resistant to it, but now I understand it and I can't be resistant to it. It's funny as hell and it's necessary. Because it's never enough. It's never enough. Men using women, women using men, pot, food. I mean, we need food, right? But it's never enough with all the consumption, the experiences, the traveling. And so it's never enough. The biggest logical fallacy of the world is selling people protection. There's never enough protection, right? And I don't care what kind of protection you are buying and selling. That was the biggest deception of all time. And stating the obvious is another multi-trillion-dollar industry. The truth community has so much redundancy, it's fucking crazy. Yeah, the system kept telling you way back 12 years ago, we're going through a climate change. Alex Jones even exposed it. Even though he was resistant to it, he exposed it. He brought on Rosa Quarry, and she was against it too. But the system told us so many years ago that climate change is going to fucking happen. Oh, no, it's not. We're going to stop it. And then when the articles finally give you the proof, and they've been telling you this for like how many years, because how long has the truth community been around? At least 20 years, since 2001. They were like, oh, now we hear the proof. Well, no shit. They told you this a long time ago climate change is going to happen. Maybe that's how you characterize it, yes. So selling people protection and awareness is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. How many people out there are selling you protection from the radiation, protection from the environment, protection from all the the different variants and viruses and this and that and that. I mean, come on. It's flipping crazy. How many people are selling you absolution? Here, I'll sell you an absolution. I'll sell you salvation. No matter how much armor you wear, how many Faraday cages you live in, you can't stop the environment when it has an intention to do what it needs to do. No matter how many vaccines or supplements or operations you undergo and take, you always kept having to take more and more and more until the system just squeezed out every bit of money out of your body, mind, and your spirit, and they use your friends and family because you can never say no to your daughters and your sons and a cute face and some influential sexual creature on Facebook who will sell you everything under the sun, even her religion and her hot body. Now, I've seen people sell religion and sex all in the same time. I'm like, holy shit. It's real. Sexualizing God is real. It's crazy. I've seen a lot of hot chicks who sell religion on the internet and they capitalize on their sexuality and God and their children. That's huge in the truth community. No matter how much money you make and how many cars you could drive, it's never enough. And people want more and more and more. The greed for money is endless and it's fucking ridiculous. And men are, especially blue collar men, when they have the capacity to make money, the consumption is fucking endless. Women, cars, money, drugs, whatever, if you have that capacity to. And then the intellectuals, they're capitalizing and consuming so much intellectual stuff and spitting out new versions of the same thing. Eventually, even that goes to the wayside because how many times can you reproduce death or sell you protection, right? And so no matter how much money you make and how many cars you could drive, it's never enough. No matter how many children you conceive and put out there in the world, mothers are still extremely lonely and desperate for someone to pay attention to them. And especially those that are MILFs. The moms I like to F-U-C-K. They are out there posting everything on the internet. They're shoving their children out there, their hot children. Why do you say hot children? Because they're capitalizing on their skinny daughters that were like them when they were younger. They were showing you what they look like when they were like 15, 16, 17. No different than what I did the last few, years. So no matter how many children you conceive and put out there in the world, mothers are still extremely lonely and desperate for someone to pay attention to them. So yes, they're desperate for their sons, their daughters, their friends and family, strangers, their bosses. No matter how many stories are developed around aliens and the Bible and the giants of the past, there's never enough twists and turns and new theories people develop, and so then people get lost down the rabbit holes of stories and storytelling until they supernova. How many people are out there on different radio shows that are talking about aliens in the past and this and that? No matter how many beautiful girls men interact with and potentially even get with, there is never enough. And men who are addicted to beautiful women, sexual activity, they will always find the next thing. And when humans are that desperate to meet their desires and needs, there's no amount of protection and there's no shortage of what it is they're desiring and looking for until they destroy themselves. I told my husband if he was single, he would kill him. He would destroy himself. Luckily, he's married to me, so I try not to let him go crazy. But men who are single, who are highly sexualized, they will age so quick. No matter how many beautiful men out there for other men to play with, this is for the LGBT community, there is never enough. And when they have to use up one man, there's always another man ready to be used and abused in whatever manner. That's the dating world and the relationship world. How many people can you consume in a lifetime and still stay alive? That was San Francisco. That was the Bay Area. That was California. Still is California. And it's bleeding over into every other community out there. No matter how many painkillers you buy and sell on the open market, there's never enough painkillers to take away the pain of life until you actually end up in rest and peace. And that was another logical fallacy with buying pain-free lifestyles and supplements and all the operations you can end so you can end your suffering. The morgue is where you end your suffering. But it's crazy that people go under operations to end their suffering when they just compounded the suffering by cutting into themselves. That was the crazy thing about the medical industry. Oh yeah, just cut out everything to end your suffering. But then when you cut into yourself and the drugs wear off and the anesthesia wears off and now you're in massive amounts of pain. You just added more suffering. Oh, but it'll end someday. Oh, okay. Well, how many operations have you undergone in the last how many years? How many remedies and supplements and things that you had to take because life wanted to keep living and you kept trying to stop it and it wouldn't stop? And so that was the whole logical fallacy of the medical holistic. But what are you going to do? It's fucking money, right? People sell themselves all the time on the internet and wherever else. And so no matter how many strains of pot you develop in biotech or in your backyard, it will never be enough for people who smoke so much pot and then develop a resistance to the effects. And then one must buy more pot, more supplements, more drugs, more alcohol until they completely destroy themselves. No matter how many sob stories you read on the internet, there's always going to be another sob story that's going to be so traumatizing you so much that you become a sob story, because inevitably you'll go and try to save a person, place, or thing and end up becoming the leading headline. How many people are reacting to so much to all the things that are going on out there? They become vigilantes, they become activists, they're posting all this shit on the internet to exploit something that they're defending, and they're trying to find a demon and all that shit. I mean, it's so predictable. No matter how many diets you adopt and undergo and develop and circulate on the internet, there will always be a person and people who will have to blame a person, place, or thing and develop another diet, and people will still be suffering, almost running out of things to blame until they are starving and a skeleton and their shell, their former self, and then they die. Because when you are 20 pounds and you're 5'9", you're not going to last very long. Oh, but here, look, I mean, that's some of the shit you see on TikTok that some people die from, these anorexics. No matter how many religions, spirituality you develop and propagate on the internet, there's always going to be somebody who's going to spin your religion into something else. There's never an end to all the spirituality and God and religion on the internet. Never an end. People try to spin my shit a long time ago. Not even that long ago. 7 years, 8 years, not that long ago. But within the last 8 years, I've had so many different people come through and try to spin my shit into whatever religion they want to go and propagate. And then try to get me to buy into the spinning my whatever. No, I'm evolving. I'm sorry you want to spin it into a religion or something else, but I'm not going there. See you later. Bye. I'm on my own. Go have fun. And so no matter how much love you give to a person, place, or thing, when people are so fucking desperate and deficient, there's not enough love to go around in this world, because people keep reproducing people who are so addicted to love and who need it, and then they die and reproduce another person who is so addicted to love. Then love turns into human trafficking and drug addiction and also religion. Now go look at all your Facebook. How many people have 50 million kids? They have their own little commune, their own little football team. And they're putting their kids out there. Oh, look what I reproduced. Look what I made. No matter how many animals the system produces to keep people company, there is never enough animals for people to consume and have a pet. It's never enough for people who are so desperate to consume something. And that's what the Vampire Diaries and Twilight was all telling you, is that humans are like vampires. We keep reproducing things so we can eat them and suck the life out of, and then discard when they're not useful. And that's pretty much in politics, religion, and sciences, and all the families and friends. No matter how many educational degrees you achieve under your belt, there's never a shortage of people achieving degrees, which completely dilutes the achievements you achieved. Then the system has to find a 2-year-old that has 50 PhD degrees and learn to speak at age 2 months. That's basically what we're looking for now. We're looking for now babies who can speak in perfect sentences, who can study the textbooks and regurgitate everything as if it was like photographic memory. That's now what we're gearing towards, is we're going to have babies who are going to learn how to speak and walk and talk at 2 months. Right out of the womb, they're able to go and, develop a company. That's what that's how desperate humans are to be special, right? And then it's just inflated egos we have reproduced all over the fucking world. Look at people like, oh, look, I have 5 degrees. Oh, look, I have a degree in this. I have a degree in that. Oh, look at my son, my daughter. Yeah, okay. It's not really remarkable anymore. It's really not when you have 50 million people who are redundant. Okay? Yeah, humans are smart when you give them all the different resources and they have the genetics and whatever. And then you see people, how many people get turned out in colleges. They have, oh, look, we have 500 graduates and they all have PhDs. Oh, that doesn't make you special anymore. Maybe in your little small ponds and your little communities. but you're not really that special. Nobody is special. I said that a long time ago. You're not fucking special. And so when there is no end to people's consumption, the system must end people's consumption because it's looking rather ridiculous on the internet. Just look at your friends list. No matter how many articles to prove all your conspiracy theories are correct, and they are, there will always be a person who will make you keep posting articles because they won't change, or they'll dispute you, and then you're like, oh, I got to go and prove to them and keep trying to make them change and convert them. I mean, that's the proselytization and the religion around conspiracy theories and waking up the masses, right? The truth community, it becomes another fucking religion, and it has, and it is. And so then you want them to move, and so what is your knee-jerk reaction? To keep posting more articles and more awareness until you've completely used up every bit of resources and there's no more writers to give you another article to prove the world how the system is changing everything when they told you they were changing everything. Stating the obvious is another multi-billion-dollar industry. So no matter how many times I go on the internet, there's always going to be somebody who's sneering at me from behind their computer, and I will always continue to post because that's how I channel my energy. But see, now, is this, let me see, let me make sure this is, la 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 la. Ah. Okay, read that. Okay. And so stating the obvious is another multi-billion-dollar industry. No matter how many times I go on the internet, there's always going to be somebody who's sneering at me from behind their computer. And I will continue to post because that's how I channel my energy. There's no shortage of people to give my truth to until you don't see anyone posting anything anymore because they're dead. Right now, we're watching many people supernova and they don't survive their activism or their friends and family or their lifestyle and belief system or their animals, pets, and love life. Okay? And so, I mean, let me just... All right, yeah. Yeah. And so that's basically America. Okay? And so America has developed so much innovation, but here's the thing. America is also gene editing their people. Look at my lip. It's fuller on the bottom now. And that was from yesterday. When I had all those hives on my front and wherever, my back and my neck, and I still have shoulder pain, but not too much. But all of that was gene editing. It's all microbes that are programmed for a specific thing. Remember back a long time ago when they were saying they were doing genetically modified and they were infusing certain things like zucchini that would give you a bald genitalia or something. We were like, oh my God, they're developing food that's going to gene edit your body. And yeah, it's probably true. But see, going to organic is not going to make a difference, right? We're like, oh yeah, go eat out of my garden. When you're exposed to everything, you don't know what's being dropped out of the skies. Yeah, there's geoengineering. Yeah, that's obvious. But there's so many other things that are going on. And also your exposure to other people. Do you know how many people have taken so many different types of foods, eaten so many different types of food? And then you go into a crowded room, you go into a crowded restaurant, you hang out with your friends and family that may or may not have received therapies or eaten certain foods or all foods and that you can't even get away with them anyways. And then you're inhaling the information. And when the body starts attempting to edit itself, because that's what it's supposed to do, people resist it and then they take themselves out. And the ones that can handle the gene edits will survive and be whatever it is the system intended them to be. But then people are given the choice. You can resist the changes and die, and people they're dying suddenly, or you can embrace them like I am, because what else am I gonna do? Fucking treat myself to death? No. I'm gonna eat all food, whatever it is. I'm gonna deal with the pain and suffering, and yeah, and yesterday when this came up, and my lip was swollen yesterday, it didn't even hurt. I told my husband, he's like, do you think he's like a herpes? I'm like, no, there's no sore. See? There's no sore. It's just my lip. There was no pain. I mean, yeah, I had pain in my body going through and doing whatever. But my lip, there was no pain. No pain at all. It was just swollen. It was just the weirdest fucking thing. So my swollen lip doesn't even hurt. It's just now part of me. It's kind of weird. It's really weird. And so, yeah, let me bring us back to gene editing without having to go through dying and reproducing. And maybe, yeah, we're getting gene edited. And some of us who resist it won't survive. And others who embrace it could withstand the edits. And yeah, it's painful. All right. So yeah, I was on a roll yesterday and I was just posting so much stuff and coming to terms with and kind of laughing at the past. Because when I was doing all the insurance agent stuff back when I was at Farmers a long time ago, and they were a multi-level marketing programming, because what they were doing was bringing in agents. They're like, hey, yeah, we'll give you a program, you can prove your worth, and then, yeah, you can have your own agency. Most people wouldn't be able to pass through the program because they didn't have certain aspects of the background that you needed. So when people were trying their luck, like myself, at being an agent, then whatever policies that I sold to people, and I couldn't open up my own agency because I didn't have certain things that needed to be in place, then they took those policies and gave them to the more seasoned agents in the area. So it was a feeder system. That was MLM. That was one of the beginning of MLM, was the recruitment program. And then you have all the other MLMs, the Melaleuca, the Young Living, YL, right? And you had, and of course, all the Unique, which is the makeup, the organic makeup. Then you had the supplement salesman. And then I remember I actually took part also when I was cold calling as an agent, selling policies or taking policies, or yeah, selling policies for other agents. I was my own cold call company. Then I would get proselytized and recruited by like Prepaid Legal, which is now some other company name. But Prepaid Legal had their own negative association with that guy, Travis Alexander and Jodi Arias. Because she was kind of like me. She didn't really have a place in this world. She was kind of floating around from thing to thing. Want to be a photographer, aggressively sexual, and very articulate. If you watch the Jodi Arias case and Travis Alexander, a lot of California produced a lot of different people and serial killers and people that end up in the news headlines and end up, behind bars. But yeah, then I ended up going to these Super Saturday events with Prepaid Legal. I mean, I still have the working for Wood, the plaque that says, oh, Jillian, you became now a senior associate, And so then I'm like thinking, oh shit. So even that, and the Prepaid Legal and Super Saturdays and MLMs, and you have the Herbalife, which was actually really the beginning, but I didn't do Herbalife back in the 90s. I knew people who did in Walnut Creek, California. And that were like a guy that I knew that was a neighbor or a friend of my friend, and she was dating him. So he was like my age, and he was dating someone that was like 10 years younger than him. And he worked at a shoe store in Walnut Creek. This is like in downtown Walnut Creek. Walnut Creek is like high echelon, it's like Beverly Hills of the East Bay. But then he also was selling Herbalife. And he was an organic, vegan, and meat eater, or not meat, or meatless eater or whatever. And he was all about health and wellness. And yeah, Herbalife was the hugest thing way back when. And so then the whole Herbalife and the MLMs came to, rose to power from like 2008, 10, all the way up to this point. And now it's like, it's bullshit. It's all fucking bullshit. So then I look back and look at all the different MLMs and the people that were part of them, and they have, so from Prepaid Legal, then you had another one called Narium and another one called this, and you had all these same pundits that were recruited to come in and get people all jazzed up at these Super Saturdays and just, going like, oh, look, the $1 million earner. And then you had these people that were paid to be a spokesman to sell a lifestyle. Oh, here's my car. Look at my beautiful kids. Look at my vacations. If you sell this many, whatever, you can get a vacation like this. We can all go to the Dominican Republic and go party at this all-inclusive hotel just to reward you. And then we all can hang out together in these Super Saturdays or these events and get everybody all jazzed up and all riled up, the whole group think. And yet people coming up like, yeah, I wish, I had a hard life, and now I joined this company, and now my life is wonderful. It's so, it is funny as hell when you watch all this shit go down. And so, hold on. America has been reduced down to cannabis and selling each other treatments for everything under the sun. Okay, so there's that, but here's the thing. America is reduced down to one big infomercial. It's freaking hilarious. For $15.95, I can sell you a beauty regime. Now look at all the beauty people on Facebook. Oh, look, I'm selling you a beauty regime. I'll give you a nice haircut. I'll sell you, creams for your face so you can get rid of all your wrinkles. I can sell you a beauty regime and you will look just like the supermodels from way back when. And you'll even get Prince Charming. And for an extra $1 or $5, I might even throw in a car. And if it's all cash, now this is the real estate world, if it's all cash, I might even give you a monogrammed, blinged out seat covers. And if you can do that within the next 5 minutes, I might save you $10. And if you come to my next event, I'll even sign the seat covers with my personal signature. And that's probably worth $100,000 because I'm so fucking famous, right? And if you invite 5 people, I will waive all your entrance fees. And if one person signs up, I'll even kick you back $100. Now, when I was part of Landmark Education, I actually gave my time for free to Landmark Education. Way back when. That was the volunteer program. And so when you invited people, so you go through the course, like I did many times. So actually I was part of an MLM even back when Landmark Education. Oh, shit. Holy crap. And so what I would do is to take the course, to get all these awarenesses, and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to save the fucking world. And then like, well, if you invite somebody to your Tuesday night event, okay, then you will have had done the program and shared this with people. And so what did I do? I invited people like, oh, this saved my life. I now am a better person. I'm so much more. And so then I would invite people and they would go and they get sold, the seminar, and they go in and they're like, oh yeah, I got a great awareness. I'm gonna go tell 5 other people or whatever, right? And that was actually my beginning of an MLM, was the Landmark Education back when I was like 18. I was introduced to MLMs and sales when I was 18 and 19. So now, oh my God. But it became even more so the last 20 years. Even more so the last 20 years. Fuck. So Gen X really was the variable. They were either going to go and do whatever they were trained to do in academia and be part of the system like that. And then the system knew it was going to start selling everything under the sun. What is it called? A salvage yard? They're going to start selling off people's body parts, selling their religion. So the system knew they were going to sell politics, religion, and science to people through all the MLMs, through all the supplements, through all the surgeries, through all the fear, because yes, then they had 2001, 9/11. And then you saw the conspiracy theories, and then the truth movement. Oh my gosh. And so myself, Alex Jones, and other people have been groomed to be a truther. Because if we weren't going to go get a degree in math and science and history and become a doctor or a lawyer or a teacher, then what else? Oh yes, we become a fucking salesman. That's exactly what I was groomed for when you think about it. Because salesmen have to look hot and sexual. Or they are a very aggressive male who knows how to throw their weight around. Wow. Since you acted now, you're a part of the elite. Oh wait, here we go. If you invite 5 people, I will waive all of your entrance fees. And if one person signs up, I'll even kick you back $100. You get your whole family involved, I'll set you up for life. And then you can tell all your friends you made a great deal. You saved yourself $100,000 because you would have paid $200,000 yesterday. How many times have I heard guys say, oh, I found a great deal. I found a great deal. Oh, look, a great deal. It was $1,000 yesterday, and now it's only $500. I saved myself $500. And they're like, oh, yeah, I saved myself. No, you spent $500. You didn't save it because you didn't even know about the fucking thing until today. And they told you, just like they do in the mattress sales when I sold furniture a long time ago. They would do a 50 margin or whatever, and then when it was the holidays, they would then keep dropping their pants. So then it becomes like a 2% margin versus 50. But you had so much room to go and keep dropping and dropping. until you get somebody where they're at their sweet spot and still make money and the person feels like they have a deal. That's the art. That's the deception of sales. And I learned all that too. Okay. And so when someone says, oh yeah, I saved myself $1,000. No, you spent whatever money you spent. You got fucking taken. You got sold. And that's basically everybody out there that are like trying to get themselves there. Major shoppers. Oh look, I found a great deal. Oh my God, yeah. They found a live one. They found a fucking live one. And I don't buy anything. I don't play that game of shopping looking for deals. But girls do, boys do, people that have nothing else going on except to go and shop and spend and consume and be like, oh look, I found a good deal. Oh look, I found a good deal. I buy discount items. Oh, whoop-de fucking do. It's fucking funny. And since you acted now, you are part of the elite, the cream of the crop customer, and we will send you VIP cards so that way you'll get the white glove service, treatment, whatever, and front row seating, and we'll even take your picture in front of the huge step and repeat banners. What are those? When people go to these events, like some, let's say charity event, and let's say there's a sponsor like, I don't know, Paramount Pictures. And so in the back of that banner that they're taking pictures in front of, it says Paramount, and you're looking like, dressed to the nines, and you're with some influencer, and they're all famous, and you're taking a picture going like, ooh, look, I'm a celebrity. And then you go down, and another person comes up and takes another picture. And so that's the whole red carpet shit. That's all fucking Hollywood. That's the illusion. Oh, it's funny as hell. And then you see these corporations repeat the same shit. Oh, the red carpet events and the step and repeat banner and all your different sponsors and some famous face that people are like, oh, look, I'm with a famous person. I'm social capital. I'm going to sell this to whatever. And then there you go, all the storylines. And then we will enter your name into a drawing to be a guinea pig for their next painkiller. So then you can tell your friends that you don't have to buy, you don't have any more pain in your life, and your life is so wonderful, and here's your fast car and fabulous friends, and here if you take a painkiller too, you'll have the same kind of life that I have. Fast cars, hot girls, lots of money, and plenty of social capital. Now look at all your friends and family out there like, oh look, my lifestyle is so great. Look, I'm traveling everywhere. Oh look, I have my own organic garden and my own little chickens. They're all organic and free range. And look, they're GMO free. And look, I'm so hot and sexual and beautiful. And look at all my pretty food. And look, all my supplements that I can sell you. Oh, and look, and here's my prayer book. I can sell you and do this and that. I mean, it is like we've turned into a flea market. Like America and the West has turned into a fucking flea market. A cheap one at that. And commodifying children and animals and pain and suffering. Oh yeah, that's right. We got to save everything too. So you have all the save the animals, save the whales, save the children, save the whatever the hell it is. And here, you buy my protection, buy my supplements, buy my diets. So you have these hot chicks who are religious, who work on farms, selling you, saving the animals. Oh, look, this poor animal, he was abused. Yeah, because you have a bunch of people out there that you reproduce that abuse animals and children. So we keep reproducing suffering and selling people saviorship. You become the Hegelian dialectic. And guess who taught me that? That was the Alex Jones world. He taught me the Hegelian dialectic. But he said it was the system doing that. No, it's your friends and family who keep propagating the suffering by saying, save this, save that. And then on the other side of it, your friends and family are reproducing animals because they keep buying animals and the animals keep getting pregnant. And then they go like, oh, I got like a litter of 50 puppies. How many people want an animal? The animals go to places that they don't get taken care of, and they end up in the fucking shelters. Oh, let's go save the animals. Oh, I got them all fixed through the veterinary system, so they undergo trauma and butchery through the veterinary system. The animal's suffering. Oh, let's go save another fucking animal. Oh, it's endless. That's why America has to go through its what it has to go through. That's why the West has to go through what it has to go through, because we have hot chicks and hot men and people who love to capitalize on suffering will never end the suffering. They will keep the suffering so they can keep selling you a remedy, a savior, another fucking spiritual religion so you can get absolution from all the suffering that you have propagated in your world. It's crazy. It's crazy. So that's why I did that reel of I got 5 on it. Americans are far more, what is it? Americans are far more religious than adults in other wealthy nations. Yeah. Americans. I didn't realize to what extent how religious America was until I left California. California, I realized, is very religious. But America is religious. When I went from California to Mississippi, and I thought, I don't know, California was the end all be all, and I go through Arkansas, and I see all the titty clouds. I took pictures of that a long time ago. The mammatus clouds when they were all the tornado stuff was going on. And I'm at a McDonald's, and this little girl comes up to me and says, like, you want to learn Jesus? She's like, here, you want to learn Jesus? Proselytizing to me. I don't know what really, I'm like, I'm not into that. But when I finally left California and went across to the Mississippi, of course, that's the most religious, very religious state. Very poor, too. But the whole Bible Belt is the South. But then you have religion in the 2 coasts, too. California has so many religions. Born-again Christians, Judaism, all the, of course, the Christian revival. Then all the different communes and cults and the organic shit. And then all the activism. Oh, my God. I didn't realize to what extent how religious California was and is, and how religious the whole U.S. is. And here I am, was raised Jewish, yeah, but I'm not religious. I don't even say I'm atheist. I could never say when you say there's no God, then you're saying that there is a God, because that, in the absence of God, there is a God, because the fact that you are reflecting against something says that the thing exists. So yeah, there's a God. I don't know who the fuck it is. I'm not even begin to tell you. Because if I say there's no God, then it means that then there is one, because, yeah, again, you do not say there's nothing when you're coming from that something to say that there's nothing. You can't make something out of nothing. So, yeah, God exists. I don't know. I mean, you could say dog, but God could just mean a collective of people that are trying to keep the balance. Maybe you could say ULF is God, ultra low frequency, and then gene editing, and then using your friends and family and your community to gene edit you and force you to compete biologically. Some people don't survive the competition, obviously. It's called died suddenly. But I just realized that, yeah, America is very religious, like extremely religious. You can't get away from it. You throw a rock, you'll hit somebody, they'll be like, oh, I'm religious. I have something to sell you. And so that's why I posted also this when I was doing the AI. Super Saturday. It's like canned a dog, right? I mean, it sounds kind of grim, but, canned dog, canned family, canned... canned family in a can, whatever. Canned clouds. And you have the Super Saturday, people are worshiping the clouds. They're doing that now. And then worshiping the water, right? You have people selling you freaking water. Oh, look, it's activated water. Oh, look, it's charcoal water. Oh, look, it's distilled water. Oh, look. How much water and air can you sell to your friends and family? How much ice can you sell to freaking Eskimos, right? It's like people worshiping the air. It's so fucking funny. And so what else? Oh, yes, you have canned air, and then you have Biden, and you have Biden-Harris, and you have Trump, and then you have Joel Osteen, and their Super Saturdays or Super Sundays. And so then you have Herbalife, and then, of course, all the influencers that look hot and sexual, trying to sell you their lifestyle. And, of course, all the selling of their freedom and protection. You have people selling you freedom. So as they are enslaving themselves with their friends and family and their children and all of their baubles and their gadgets and their nice cars and huge houses and lots of property, then they got to buy things to maintain it. Then they're like, I feel enslaved. I'm so enslaved. I'm so fucking enslaved. The government's put me under slavery. So then the government's like, okay, well, you wanted all your fucking baubles. You wanted your friends and family. You wanted all your addictions and your lifestyle belief system. We'll sell you freedom. We'll sell you protection. Oh man, it's so funny when you finally see shit for what it is. And so then you have these MLMs selling you freedom. Here, we're gonna fight for freedom. I'm gonna sell you a package for freedom. And so then you have this package, level 1, 2, 3. Here, you buy this freedom, you get this type of freedom, and you buy that package, you get this type of freedom. And so, then it becomes so ridiculous. It's funny as hell. And then you have freedom in a bottle. Oh look, you're so enslaved by your pain. I'll sell you freedom from pain. Oh, here's my newest painkiller. Here's my newest cannabis. Here's my newest supplement. And here's the distraction. And here's Disneyland. And so then you have freedom protection for only $100.95 or $195 or $195. And then people selling you oils. Oh, here's an oil so I can sell you protection. Oh, look, I found something on the internet. They're using castor oil under your armpits. Here, I'll sell you that, and it'll do all these magical things. Magical healing. And, oh, my God. And so it just becomes, America just becomes a parody. They just become, oh yeah, I'll sell you a self-help. So you have these people like, I'm not going to say their name because I don't want to be sued for defamation, but all these self-help gurus. I'll sell you how to be the most successful entrepreneur and make a lot of money and get a lot of friends and families. And Audrey goes, we had billboards up over here for vapes that said, inhale your freedom. Jesus Christ. Oh, it's freaking insane. It's funny as hell. Oh yeah, here, buy the Bitcoin, buy crypto because it's unregulated and it's decentralized. And you can escape the government regulation. But it's not unhackable. Of course it's hackable. You can make all this money and trade your hard-earned money for some air. And then one day someone hacks into it and takes all your fucking air. It's so funny as hell. Yeah, and the Bitcoin salesman. Oh, those influencers. And they're still around, but they don't say too much. But you know some of those who sold the Bitcoin and they're selling you their lifestyle. And they're in Mexico, they're all over the place with hot chicks next to them doing their diets. Oh God. It just becomes so freaking funny. Of course, selling salvation, religion. Of course. It is funny as hell. All right. And so then, and for $20, I can save your soul. Just come to my church. These are the mega churches, right? And give money to us and we'll save you and give you absolution. Remember Tammy Faye? You will have prime real estate in heaven and all the virgins you could possibly want. And you know everything is for sale in the Western world, even people's children. Just look on the internet. Look at people are putting their children out there. They're dressed hardly in anything. Mothers, hot mothers with their hot husbands, with their hot kids, and they're selling their kids all over the internet. It's freaking crazy. So before you become so self-righteous about whatever, start looking at what the hell you're selling to your friends and family. Selling them health and wellness, organic bullshit. Completely in denial you're part in all the suffering. Selling animals to adopt so they can be butchered in the veterinary system. So you're not saving anything, you're just selling suffering, and that's what you're selling. You're selling suffering and capitalizing on the suffering of animals and children and friends and family. Yeah, when you cause the suffering and then you want to remedy it away, you're basically the Hegelian dialectic. Everyone who sells a remedy and asks for money to save something are the Hegelian dialectic because they cause all the suffering out there. There's a reason why you're selling the remedies, because you want to sustain the suffering so you can sell your fucking remedies. You are the problem, the reaction, and the damn solution. Damn, and it costs money. Of course it does. But what's the solution? It's death eventually. You can sell them a little bit of death at a time. Oh, I have pain. I have symptoms of life. Okay, well, let me give you a pill for it. Let me give you a surgery for it. Let me give you an implant for it, right? I know the Hegelian dialectic well, and everyone who has something to sell, especially claiming to make your life better, are the ones who actually cause all the suffering. But you're not fooling anyone or anyone else. Well, you are fooling a lot of people. But I expose the whole system. And all of you are part of it. That's why I walked away from society. I won't be part of somebody else's suffering and then sell them a fucking remedy. And so how to make money by becoming a savior of your society. Make sure you have things for people to save. And make sure you capitalize on the suffering. And make sure you never end the suffering so people keep buying into the remedies and they keep depleting their resources. You are all one big infomercial and you sold your fucking soul. And if you donate to all these shelters, you will save all the animals. Just make sure you keep donating the rest of your life and all the animals will be saved. And make sure you share this post so everybody can go and save these animals so we can then produce more animals for you to save. 50 years later, $100,000 poorer, there are still a bunch of animals that need to be saved. Oh, but wait, save the children. Oh, but here, yeah, donate money to save the children. And 50 years later and $6 million poorer, there's still children to be saved. Make sure you encourage family and having so many children so that way we can keep saving the children. That's religion for you. It's all about the fucking money. That's the Western world. Everything is commodified. Even the sellers. If you want to know more, donate to my campaign for $15.95 and I can tell you the secrets of the universe. And I'll even throw in a pillow for good measure. What does that mean, throw in a pillow? Because when I used to sell mattresses a long time ago, how we can get people to finally close the deal is to say, okay, if you buy this at this much, knowing it was a 50 margin, they're doubling and tripling our revenue. Because we knew how much we bought it for. And then we throw in a pillow. They're like, oh, great, I get a latex pillow, an antimicrobial pillow. And then it might drop the margin a bit. But we were okay with that. I mean, if it wasn't a 50 margin, maybe we were okay with like a 40 margin. We still made the company money. We still made money. It was fine. So that's all sales shit. You know what you get stuff for cost and then you figure out your revenue. I mean, it's all basic business. And it's all fucking psychological. You know how many guys and girls get taken by the psychology of fucking sales and slick-tongued salesmen that capitalize and prey on the weak and the desperate and those who are just addicted to consumption? It becomes very ridiculous and almost funny. And so the first world has become a parody of their own infomercial of survival and downright funny. And it's downright funny. For only $15.95, I can sell you a protocol to survive climate change. So even my book, which is really about what I've done, but I've come from the sales world. But I can't sell that lifestyle to people. You can read about my lifestyle. It doesn't mean you can do it. It's what I've been doing. But naturally, we all want to sell a lifestyle of sorts. But when you think about it, I can't really sell, you can't sell pain and suffering to people. Not when they've spent their whole life running away from pain and staying distracted under the influence, cutting everything out of their body. You can't sell fucking pain and suffering to those. So then you just become a parody. You become an entertainment to people. Some people might get it. Others be like, they don't have the capacity to understand where I'm coming from. And I don't want them to. Because then when they feel they don't get the outcome they expected, they're going to blame me and say, oh, Julian hurt me. Julian's stupid. Wait, let me sell you freedom. Let me sell you non-discrimination. That's the left wing. Oh, don't discriminate against me. Here I'm going to write a book, and here I'm going to go on TV and tell everybody how people have discriminated against me. And so you're selling a fucking sob story. You're selling your victimhood. That's all the girls that are on the Epstein. Selling their victimhood. They become exploited by the media. The Diddy, the Epstein, all the people that ended up being, a witness or a victim of some predator. They're selling your story. They're exploiting you. And then, Ashley Madison, those two people, they got exploited. The guy that cheated on his wife with Ashley Madison. And now he's trying to spin it, be like, well, now I realize the error of my ways. And there you go. I mean, I guess you could say I'd say the same thing, but not really. I mean, the J-Juice was never anything poisonous, and there was no nefarious intention with it. Though people try to spin it that way. But I wasn't actively cheating on my husband. I wasn't trying to deceive people. I was very upfront. I saw the effects of the J juice. I was freaking floored by how fast it worked, whatever it was, take away my pain and suffering. And then being skinny too, which was what I was going for a long time ago. To be hot, sexual, and skinny and looking like, an arm candy for my husband. Because that's what he was expecting, an arm candy. And then, then I had to evolve. But the system definitely tried to paint me as someone who intentionally tried to deceive people. Nefarious. No, no, no. I discovered something and I had to go through the evolution of understanding the law, understanding what the medical holistic system actually is and was, and even all the salesmen in the supplements and the salvation. And you can't sell that, make money off of the truth like this. You can't. You can make money off deceiving people, but you can't. But really, is it deception? Well, when you have a supplement and there really is no side effects on the back of the bottle because it's all natural, and you're selling it to your friends saying it's going to take away your pain and suffering and give you a fabulous life and fast cars and hot women, that's deception. You can't fucking guarantee that. So there's a lot of deception with the truth mixed in the health and wellness industry and all the MLMs and the fear and the conspiracy world and the truther community. I'll sell you an anti-radiation suit so you can walk around in your own fucking atmosphere. Oh, God, yeah. So wait, let me sell you freedom. Let me sell you non-discrimination. Let me sell you tolerance. Oh, God, here we go. I'm just waiting for the next person to package up some other thing they could sell to somebody else. Let me sell you beauty and virtuosity and intellectual capability. It's all in one pill. And for only $15.95, you can have your own supply of beauty, intellectual capacity, and virtuosity. And no one has to know because no one knows you're taking pills, right? It'll be our little secret. And only your bank and the postman will know your secret to your success. Because the postman, even though it's a nondescript box that says it's from this company, they know this company sells all types of stuff. And one of the main sellers is this. Well, maybe they don't know, but I mean, if they see enough things go out there, I'm sure they go and look and see what company it is that is being delivered to, packages being delivered to people. And they're like, oh, okay. So your postman will know what the hell you're doing. Your bank will know because they're seeing you what you're buying from. And of course, the company. So everything is private and unhackable, right? That's what Ashley Madison thought too. Everything was private and unhackable until the government came in and hacked into it and figured out what the fuck was going on and exposed everyone. Fuck yeah. You gotta love your government. You gotta love your government. They are the balancing, regulating force, and I applaud them, and I'm okay with them regulating me. I'm fucking okay with it, because I don't know everything. I'm less than 100 years old. I'm 50 years old. That is just scratching the surface of what there is to know about the world. How to make money out of thin air. This is where I was going off. And I had all the hives yesterday, too, when I was typing this stuff. How to make money out of thin air. The American Guide to Multi-Level Marketing. And playing on people's weaknesses because they're dying to get rich and be somebody. Health food store versus unhealthy food store equals logical fallacy. Now, someone posted about, if this is the health food section, then what is the other sections? And I'm like, oh my God. Somebody posted that, and I don't go and confront people, but that's what got me onto the next one. Some people, my own community, I love my conspiracy community because they give me so much to work from. And I give them so much to work from too. And so you just developed another religion to worship and develop a Satan or a savior. So you think the savior is the health food section and the Satan is the unhealth food section. Religion is all over the food world. Oh my God, it's so subjective. Starvation Organic is a savior and McDonald's is a Satan. Fucking predictable. You know the toxic chemtrails are trashing your organic garden, people. Wait, hold on a second. Air sandwiches. Oh wait, no. The air is poison. Here, buy my cans of clean air at $20 a can. Oh wait. The cans are poisoned with toxic lining. Okay, buy my organic canned air. It uses a different chemical that's more natural. Oh wait, the company is corrupt. It's not organic like they claim. Here, buy my version of organic clean air. And I have testimonies and celebrity approval and concerts and gatherings to show you how organic my canned air is versus the mainstream organic canned air. Because they use aspartame versus neontame. So you're getting more poison. See, if I use organic versions of the lining of the canned air that went through the state-of-the-art organic processes, and it's only $5 cheaper with a signed can from Hollywood. See, I use the organic version of the organic canned air. And now we have a student who has 50 PhDs degrees who has her version of organic canned air, and wow, it's so amazing. And she sells it at Walmart and health food stores, and even has an MLM that you can take part in. So for only $5,000, you can buy into selling her version of organic clean air. Oh, but wait, there's more. You can get free t-shirts and a free giveaway if you recommend her version of organic canned air, even potentially get a lifetime supply and a huge organic canned air machine that will recycle the air you're in and turn it into magical healing air. Oh my fucking God. Now we have healing air that will take away all of your pain and suffering, and even give you money back and fame and fortune and big cars and a fancy house and so much social capital. And then you can tell all your friends how you found organic canned healing air, and they could be just like you. Which is why I have such a great life, nice cars, fancy vacations, and then tour around the world selling the MLM of organic canned healing air that made my life so wonderful. And better yet, you can hold healing air parties, and everyone can sit around together sharing oxygen masks with all the colorful healing organic canned air, and then develop a patent and an IPO, and then pump and dump shit, and then get rich, and then laugh at all the desperate people who are dying to hit it big. That was all the crypto. Watch all the crypto people were pumping and dumping the crypto. Oh, look, buy this crypto, buy that. Welcome to America, the West, the United Kingdom, Australia, Canada. That is how you make money out of thin, organic healing air. Pump and dump. Now look at your Facebook. Oh, look, buy my beauty regime. Buy my supplements. Buy my prayer book. Buy this, buy that. That's why the Mormons were huge in the MLMs, because they had a natural market. Which doesn't surprise me that even Prepaid Legal was run by Mormons that are out of Ada, Oklahoma. I went to Ada, Oklahoma. I went to Super Saturdays. But it's run by religious organizations that know how to sell people Satan and a savior. Pump and freaking dump. And so, yeah, I mean, I can see the irony of the Trump Patriot movement sustains your own enslavement. Yeah, people are selling freedom, but they enslave themselves. They go off to war to fight for freedom, but they come back to slavery. How else can you say it? There is no wars out there except for what the system wanted you to think. And so while you're strapped and stuck with a wife, 5 kids, a dog, a mortgage, and a huge property, and friends and family, and a reputation, then you go off to fight for freedom, and you come back to slavery. That's the family. It's slavery. That's all your friends and family and big houses and shiny cars and all of your trappings of wealth. That's the slavery system. And then we have soldiers going to fight for freedom, going to war to fight for freedom. And they come back to slavery. Now watch the Trump movement, watch even the liberals go and fight for their freedom as they go back home to their slavery system that they voluntarily signed themselves up for. They chose to have a bunch of kids. They chose to have a bunch of sexual partners. They chose to be a slave to reputation, a slave to sexuality, a slave to all their baubles, their gadgets, the friends and family, the drugs, the alcohol, the sex, the parties, and then are off fighting for fucking freedom, voting somebody to free them from the enslavement of lack of tolerance. It's freaking funny. And so I'm glad I woke up to all this. I don't expect most people to understand this. They're stuck in their religions. They're stuck. I can just laugh. That's all I can do is just laugh. And so, and so when I broke it down as far as the microbes, from to the power of 1 to the power of 50, 1 to the power of 2, 1 to the power of whatever, that tells you mathematically the kind of life that keeps adding itself. And then you have to learn how to subtract. And relative to where you are, you have to learn how to add or subtract. The microbes, evolution, even the people in your life. And I don't know how you're going to fucking do it. Especially if you've enslaved yourself and then now you're out there fighting for freedom. And so useless eaters evolved to die, and they consume everything in their environment. But that was necessary based upon the intentions of the system post-World War II. Evolving to live is about conservation and scaling down consumption without destroying yourself and the environment. But you'll see people out there who are stuck in their slavery. They're stuck. They can't get out. And you feel sorry for them. Because that's the only, you know where they're going to go. You know the only way out for them is going to be the morgue. Because you really think their friends and family are going to let them change and scale down? Fuck no. Their friends and family depend upon them to keep producing for them. That's the slavery system. And so when you can walk away from all of that and live down next to nothing and survive pain and suffering and your own demons, you have set yourself free without rest and peace. But those who are in that slavery system of friends and family activism and protection and selling something to somebody, their only way out is rest and peace. And the system will keep taking money from them until they're done. Bye.